Thank you. What we would like for you to do right now is put those hands back together and welcome to the stage the world's most famous auctioneer, Mr. Leroy Van Dyke.
I'm in no places of south. I'm on looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me, my mama and my papa. Down the road I look, there runs Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherry. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they all come singing, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherry. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Then I wait and look around me at the cold gray walls that surround me. Then I realize that I was only dreaming. But there's the garden, and there's that sad old mother, arm in arm, we'll walk together, and I get out touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to see me in the shade of the old oak tree as they lay beneath the green, green grass of home. Thanks for being here. I hope you got through the pandemic all right so far. Some of you have and some of you haven't. But we wish you all the best. We've gotten by without it. People ask, what have you done during this time? It's been 18 months since I sung a song. And if I mess up some words, you will forgive me. I might be doing San Antonio Rose to the tune of You Are My Sunshine or something like that. We're sure glad to be here. Some of you have never been to our shows before. How many of you have never been to our show? Look at that show of hands. These people have spent the last 65 years in a bomb shelter someplace. We played on 4 continents, every state in the United States except Hawaii, and we miss you folks. We're glad you finally got here. And we're going to try to find something you might like. Mostly old stuff, some of it's a little bit mossy and so forth. Give me a quarter, dude. You hear about the guy that came into the bar with a leash tied to a dog and he's dragging the dog, and the dog doesn't have any legs. Bartender said, "What's wrong with your dog?" He said, "He don't have no legs." He said, "Well, what happened to him?" "Nothing happened to him. He was born that way. Born with no legs." "Yeah, didn't have any legs." He said, "What's his name?" He said, "I didn't name him. You don't kill him when I call anyway." I love you so much, it hurts me. Darling, that's why I'm so blue. I'm so afraid to go to bed at night, afraid of losing you. I love you so much, it hurts me, and there's nothing I can do. I wanna hold you, my dear, forever and ever. I so much hurts me so. I love you so, it hurts me. Darling, that's why I'm so blue. I'm so afraid to lay this poor cat guy down. I'm afraid of losing you. I love you so much, it hurts me. There's nothing I can do. I want to be my dear forever and ever. Love you so much, hurts me I want to be my dear forever and ever. I love you. It hurts me so. Thank you. I've been doing this for quite a few years, about 65 years, and I never get used to some of the remarks that people say about songs. Here's a song that I recorded as kind of a follow-up to a song that was very good to me that sold about 3 million records. And this record was heading to the top. We'd already sold about 500,000 records, and some ladies group in Chicago decided they would boycott this record. They said it advocated immoral behavior. We don't ever advocate immoral behavior, but things happen in real life. We behave yourself. But things happen, and people write songs about it, and we record those songs just to tell the story. It's not that we advocate what these people do, it's just that we talk about it. So we recorded this song It didn't get to the top of the charts, but we, as I said, we got to stop. But they got to stop by the time we sold about 500,000 records. And then it received some sort of acclaim a few years later when Rush Limbaugh played it in its entirety on his show. And he designated this record as the Bill Clinton theme song, titled, If a Woman Answers, Hang Up the Phone. You got it. We were in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and finished the show. Right after the show, a lady came up to me and she said very politely, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes." She said, "On your record of If a Woman Answers, it sounded like you had female voices in the background." I said, "Yes, ma'am, we did have female voices in the background." She said, "Why didn't it sound that way tonight?" I said, "Because tonight we didn't have female voices in the background." She said, "Oh, thank you." I'm never surprised anymore at what people say. We were in Acton, Maine at a county fair. A guy came up to me and said, "You ever go on tour anymore?" I said, "I live in Nashville, Tennessee. What the heck do you think I'm doing here?" He didn't catch on. We were doing a show right over here at Smithton one time. The guy came up and said, "You remember me?" I said, "I don't think so. Where'd I meet you last?" He said, "You remember me. I saw your picture today." True stories. Guy came up to me at the fair here a few years ago and he said, knowing that I have a brother that's a doctor, he said it must be nice having a brother for a doctor to kind of help with your health needs. I said, "My brother don't do nothing for me. He's a gynecologist." These are true stories. I'm not making this stuff up. Some people ask, "Well, what have you been doing for the last 18 months since this pandemic?" And I said, "Well, I kept my grass mowed, and I built a lot of shelves in my shed that I needed that I never would have gotten to any other way. And people have told me many times when we start telling stories about what happened on the road, said, "You ought to write a book." So I started writing a book. And I've got about halfway done. You'll see it in a few weeks or a few months. Another thing we did, I had a little trouble with my left hind leg. And that gave me time to get in and get that fixed. No big deal. I went down to Ace Hardware and got the parts. Went to the Ford garage and they installed them, and it's working just fine. I'm walking a little bit funny, but it doesn't hurt anymore. And it quit bleeding, so everything was just fine. Here's a song done by one of my favorite performers, Mr. Floyd Tillman. Did this one. Did you hear about what happened out here in Menards? I'm going to tell you. You knew I was going to tell you when you had it sorted out. The lady went in out there and had a little boy with her. And he was almost too old to go in the women's restroom and almost too young to go in the men's room by himself. She finally sent him into the men's room hoping he'd be all right. He was gone for a long time. Finally came back out. It was very obvious that he'd had an accident. And she started chewing him out. He said, "Mom, it wasn't my fault. There were only two places in there, and two old men in there. One couldn't start, one couldn't stop, and I couldn't wait." I think it helped me. I think somebody told me that actually happened. Anybody like cowboy songs? I do too. We're not going to do any tonight. Here, I don't know how you tell whether it's a cowboy song or not, or how do you categorize the songs, but this one, I think, I saw in a movie sometime or another, and it was recorded by a guy that did a lot of Western movies, a guy named D. Martin. So I don't know whether it was a country song or a cowboy song or whatever, but I'm going to do it anyway to go for one of my favorite songs. Kind of a love ballad. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in my heart just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace. obviously that was not a cowboy song. But here's one that comes close. It's been I don't know how many years, 35, 40 years ago, maybe longer, since we lost one of the all-time greats in the field of country and western music, particularly western swing music, but a man who lived long enough to know that he had become a legend within his own lifetime, and long enough to know that he got into the Hall of Fame in Nashville, Tennessee from the long, long list of country standards created by the great Bob Wills. That came out crooked, didn't it? Bob Wills. I gotta get this thing fixed. Hadn't used it for 18 months. From the Bob Wills list, I think you might like this. Give me a card. Well, give it again. Well, he quit this, my heart, there, right underneath the song of ocean dawn. Where in dreams I live, with a memory, he did the stars all alone. It was there I found, beside the Alamo, and Chandler's train as it flew up above. A smooth path that only she would know. Till here's my broken song of love. Oh, little that door, no home to my heart. All that the road goes to stand alone. It goes to that hanger like petals fall apart. Speak once again and my little child. Broken song, every word I know still lives in my heart all alone. And that moving past by the Alamo and road love, and cold, someone play something. Thank you. Some of you may wonder where the musicians come from that help me out when I need help, and I need help a lot. I didn't find them under bridges along the interstate. All of these people come from Missouri. I lived in Nashville for 27 years, and I used to find most of my musicians in Nashville. And when we moved back home and bought the home place where I grew up, I found out that we've got some of the best in the world right here. Seated over here is the steel guitar. Yeah. 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 I'll send you an email. He went to high school at Sedalia. He was raised in Sedalia. He was a professor of English at Central Missouri State University, or the University of Central Missouri now is, and he is retired from that. He's on a trial basis, and you know better, don't you? He's on a trial basis. If he does well for the next few days, we'll probably keep him on. He's been with us 27 years. His name is Tony Schaefer. Sedalia, Missouri, now lives in Warrensburg. Next is a young man from Mr. Food House, straight south of here. You know where Ionia is? He went to, I don't stand close to him, he makes me look like a midget. He wears a size 16 shoe. That's about right, isn't it? Yeah, close to it. He worked part-time in high school to get extra money, but working out in the woods, stomping out brush fires. It worked out very, very well with a size 16 shoe from Ionia. Mr. Brent Harms.
But you come home and
trying his best to hide behind the pots and the pans and skillets and the milk buckets, with 178 pounds of tired blood from Kansas City, Missouri. Now makes his home in Branson, where he works at several shows down there, but we steal him every so often, get him out where he gets some good fresh air. His name is Paul Oney. Say hello to Paul. Well, over here on my far right, playing the electrified fiddle from Stover, Missouri. We have Stover here tonight. His name is Kelly Jones. Make him welcome. If you should happen to run across a yearbook from Smith Fountain High School, I'm often kind of funny because it's less time late. A yearbook from the year 1947. You don't remember that long? That's when I graduated, along with 179 others. And most of them are gone now. But I think Adelaide Bale's here. Where is she? Well, she's back there. She never missed the show. I took her to the junior senior prom. And walked all over her feet. I did not know how to dance, but she was very good-natured about it. Anyway, if you should get a hold of one of those old yearbooks from 1947 and found my picture in there someplace and looked very carefully at that picture, you might say it looked something like him. There's a very good reason for that. That's my youngest son. And his name is Ben Van Dyke. CD, if you ever see it, you might want to buy that. It'll help feed the kids. Understand how that goes. Well, I think we have time to do a song that's been pretty good to me over the years. It came out in 1961. Had a slow. You don't remember that far back. It had kind of a slow start because the promotion people at the record label was working on the wrong side. I kept telling them they were wrong. Finally, they got on the right side, and thanks to you folks, the radio stations, and people around the world that like country music, you took it to #1. It stayed at #1 for 19 weeks. Stayed in the charts altogether for 42 weeks. I hope you're not tired of it yet. You're going to hear it again. Billboard magazine did some research a few years ago, I think in the mid-90s, and of all kinds of country records and classic country and everything else. And they determined, after counting the beans, that that song, Walk On By, written by a guy from Kentucky, got in the charts, and it became the biggest country single of all time, thanks to you folks. Based on the number of sales, the number of weeks in the charts, and the number of plays on the radio and television. So we're kind of happy for that, and thank you so much. This next song is one that I wrote while I was in Korea. I camped out over there for about a year, and the words and music started coming. I don't know where it came from. It started coming out of the air. I didn't pay any attention to it. So about the fourth time, and finally I said, somebody's trying to tell me something. I went back to my tent and wrote this song. It's a true life story of a guy that came from Green Ridge, Missouri. And some of you knew him and his family. The only thing in the song that's not true in his life was there was a boy in Arkansas. I couldn't find anything to rhyme with Missouri. This is the life story of Ray Sims. Hey, well, I'm sir, here we go there, and what are you going to get for? I'm 25, 50 now, 555, I'm 40 now, 555, I'm 50, $500.